Tony Collins.
Always good to get a win. I thought we did a really good job trying to force feed the ball into the post to Gavin to open up the game. And I thought we did a good job not just getting the ball in the post to Gavin, but also to Rockwez and Colin. I think both of those guys have some ability to score down there. We just got to do a better job of getting it to them. And it's twofold. They have to post harder, but also our guards have to look in there more. I think the thing that I'm still really concerned about is I thought Mississippi Valley State, their field goal percentage was just way too high. I believe they shot 45% in the first half from the field, and then the second half they shot 50% from the field. And we got to do a better job defensively. They have some quick little water bugs that are hard to stay in front of, but I didn't think we pressured them. I thought we played off of them, and they still were getting by us. So we got to do a better job of guarding the basketball. And we put ourselves in a bind because we have to help so much. So it's an old term called guard your yard, which means you have to be able to guard your own man without help all the time. Right now, we rely on help way too much in order to guard instead of just one person guarding his own man. So, but obviously a good win for us. I thought we did really well on the offensive end. We just got to kind of tighten up the screws on the defensive end.
Your thoughts on Trevante and Jacoby kind of running the show on both ends of the floor? Your thoughts on how they did?
Well, I think anybody that looks at Trevante Bloodman right now and then what Trevante Bloodman was last year can see that he's developed. And I think as a basketball coach and as a fan that you want to see your individual players on that team developing. And Trevante Bloodman is light years ahead from where he was last year. So I think he's doing a much better job of taking care of the basketball and seeing the open people. And I think it's good because I think Trevante and Jacoby are so different. Jacoby is a guy you can see who's an outside threat from the perimeter, can really shoot the basketball. So he'll get his drives off of people closing out to him to take away his shot. Whereas Trevante is more of a guy who can do some things off the bounce. So I think it's a good change-up. But at the end of the day, you want your point guards taking care of the basketball and running the team.
Talk about Gavin's night. He kind of started right from the start, getting him the ball.
Yeah, we ran a set play on the opening play to get him the ball inside, and our guys did a good job executing it. But more so than anything, Gavin did a great job of posting. But I think the other two teams that we had played so much zone, and the zone is to take away your inside looks. And so that kind of limited Gavin as far as his touches and his ability to get the ball inside. But Mississippi Valley State played mostly man-to-man, and so we were able to force-feed the ball into the post there. But Gavin did do a good job of posting and also finished inside, too.
Gavin just seems way more capable. You know, he's lost like 30 pounds, just nimble around the basket, and able to play a whole game. I mean, do you notice that from him?
Oh, yeah. We noticed it because he was 298 pounds. That's really good if you want to play offensive line or defensive line for Dan Mullen, but it's not so good if you want to play basketball. So I think I told him, if you want to be a good player, you have to reduce your weight. There's nothing that we can do for you until you reduce your weight. And so that becomes an onus on him. I mean, we can teach him all the post moves and all that stuff, but he can't run up and down the court, then he can't be an effective basketball player. And to Gavin's credit, Gavin did it. I mean, we can talk about what you need to do all the time, but we can't watch him 24 hours a day. And he really did control his diet and did some extra things. He comes in on Saturdays and Sundays and gets on the treadmill with Coach Akins. And if he has a bad night at the Waffle House, he runs it off that next morning. So he's done a really good job with that.
Is he about where you want weight-wise?
Yes, we want him to stay somewhere between 260 and 265 pounds. And he's right now at 262. He fluctuates between 262 and 263, so we just want to make sure we keep him at that weight.
What do you think of Jacoby's first meaningful action, those minutes he got tonight?
I thought he did a good job. I think the one thing that Jacoby can do is he can shoot the basketball, and when he's open, he's a threat. Now, the thing he's got to make sure he does a better job of is defensively. He's got to do a better job of picking up the other team's point guard and keeping him under control. I thought the opposing team's point guard got on the move and hurt us way too much on the defensive end. But he hasn't been out there before. This is his second game ever playing college basketball. And really, if you want to include the first game, we played 1+ minute. I just think we need to make sure we're getting him prepared to play major minutes because Trevante may get in foul trouble, and you need to have Jacoby out there confident and ready to play.
How critical, we mentioned this before, how critical is Rockwez's role for you? Coming off that bench and guarding that second post and providing a couple of energy buckets, junkyard buckets that he does.
Well, first and foremost, he's really critical because we only got 3 post guys. So if Raquez is not playing well or doing what we need him to do, then we're really limited because we only got 2 other post guys. So, but I think the big thing is Raquez comes in and he's playing with energy. When Raquez is on the court, you notice him. He's always on the ground for a loose ball. He's always around the ball for offensive rebounds, finishing at the rim. And as long as he stays active like that, I think he really helps his basketball team. And I think he's doing a better job. He can handle the ball better. He can shoot the ball better. So we want him to continue to expand his game.
What's the thing that you all can improve upon after tonight for you?
Well, I think the big thing is on the defensive end. First and foremost, we have to be a better individual defensive team. We can't rely on help all the time because there's so many guys that can shoot the basketball. And if we're always helping, eventually we're going to get beat on a closeout on the drive or going to beat on a closeout for a shot. So the biggest thing that we need to make sure we do a better job is our individual defense. We got to become a much better defensive team.
Your set defense, and you may be dissatisfied with that, but here's 2 games in a row you played 2 high-energy teams, and you either forced turnovers or got positions where they made a lot of turnovers themselves, so you're getting a real positive ratio there.
Yeah. And the one thing, though, is it's all or nothing for us, it seems like, on those turnovers. It seems like we get a turnover and we're able to go to the other end, or we gamble and then that other team gets into our lane and gets an easy shot. So I like to reduce the turnovers that we're forcing if we can keep them out of the paint.
Any concerns going on the road for the first time this year?
No. I mean, I don't know if this is a big thing or not, but I'd never worry about road games. To me, if you start talking to guys about the difference between playing at home and playing on the road, then they start thinking that. I mean, it's still 94 feet, it's still 10 feet. I mean, it's basketball, so let's go play.
Coach, I asked you last week about what will be the team's identity this season. Do you still have an idea, or are you still searching?
I think we're still searching because as the competition stiffens, then we'll truly figure out what's going on with our team. And our next game at Utah State will be a true test because they've just been traditionally here the past 5 to 10 years, one of the best teams in college basketball record-wise, especially their home record. They've already beaten USC on their home court and had some impressive wins. They beat UC Santa Barbara already. UC Santa Barbara beat UNLV on UNLV's home court. So they've had some impressive wins already. So I think we'll start figuring out a little bit more about what our identity is as the competition gets stiffer.
Now that they had a couple of days to examine the training room, whether there's any update on IJs, it's still a 2 to 4 week plan.
No, it's still a 2 to 4 week plan, and I don't think we'll know anything until he starts getting up and moving around. So I don't have anything more to add to that.
Message kind of sent to Chicken tonight, or did you just make it lost because of foul?
No, I got a technical foul. I mean, you just can't do things like that. I mean, it's just unnecessary, and if he's going to get technical fouls, then he's not going to play for us. He knows that.
When you look at Gavin's night, he started off with those, I think, 6 or 9 points, and then there was a little lull there. I guess what happened mid-first half?
Well, that's a really good question, Michael. I wish I knew the answer to that. I think what happens is like when you get a lead, then everybody starts figuring out, like, I'm going to sway away from what we're trying to get done here, and they don't realize what got them that lead. And I think we started looking for our own individual plays and becoming a little selfish, and that's what really happened in my estimation. Now, I haven't watched the tape. Maybe they were taking away Gavin, but I seriously doubt it.
Is that the tough part of getting the ball in the post? Is when it succeeds, it seems like it's hard to remind them after the first couple of minutes because then their minds kind of wander.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard, and I think that the one thing, too, is it's hard to get post guys to continue to post and seal because 75% of the time that they're posting and sealing, they're not getting the ball, and it's not their fault. You know, maybe the guy's getting pressured and he doesn't feel good about being able to throw a post feed. Maybe the guy on the weak side is there and the post guy doesn't see it. So our post guys have to get past the frustration of, like, I'm posting 100% of the time and I'm only getting it 25% of the time. But that's just the nature of college basketball. People take things away.
In the kind of big picture, kind of long-term view, when they went to that 1-3-1 full court, were you kind of happy to see that and happy your guys trying to figure out how to get it up the floor without IJ, as long as he might be out?
I don't know. I just want to make sure we take care of the basketball. To me, like, you want to teach your guys to be good basketball players. And so if you're a good basketball player, whether you're playing against a man, a 1-3-1, a 2-2-1, a 1-2-2, you should be able to handle it. And so that's what I want to make sure our guys do. No matter what the opposing team is doing, they can handle it.